The next thing that we're going to do is actually create an assembly that will have our puzzle in it. I'm going to go to New, Standard Assembly. And when that assembly comes up, then I'm ready to start placing my components. At this point, I only have two components. I have my box, so I'm going to go up and go to Puzzle Cube Box, and I'm going to place that. Click and hit Escape. So there's my Puzzle Cube box. Now I'm going to place the actual puzzle cube that I have. So your assembly for your puzzle cube. And I'm going to click right here. That puzzle cube is an assembly within an assembly, so it's called a subassembly. So I'm going to start by constraining it. I'm going to constrain the bottom first. I'm going to constrain by mating the bottom of that with the bottom of this puzzle. And I'm going to say OK. And that way, by saying OK, I can actually see what I can move. Now, I can move that box. I don't want to be able to do that. So I come over here and I right click and I'm going to go in and I'm going to ground the box so that if I try to move just yet, it's not. It's going to stay put. But I've still got several degrees of freedom for my puzzle cube. If I look at it from the front, I can tell, oh, I cannot move it up and down any longer. I can move it, if I turn it, I can move it forward and back, left and right. I can move it diagonal, but I cannot move it up and down. So that is one of our degrees of freedom that has been halted, or actually two, because I can't rotate it either. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to constrain it to the sides. So I'm going to constrain to this side. I'm going to mate this side of my puzzle cube. And I don't want it to pop up exactly against it. So I know the distance between here. Let me show you how to check that. So let me move this out. If I go to Inspect and I want to check the distance, what's my inside distance? I'm going to say from that face to, if I tilt it a little more, this face, and I've got 2.3. So I can check the other one as well from side to side. So I restart, check from this face over to this face on the inside. Again, 2.3. Yours may be a little different, but what I do know is that I can actually now go in and I can constrain. I know my puzzle's 2.25, so what I can do is I can constrain this as a mate with this, and that pops it exactly. I know there's 0.05 difference between the two. I need to hit an equal sign in front of that. So I'm entering a formula, 0.05 divided by 2, rather than use your calculator. And that offsets it slightly. So I'm going to hit cancel. Let's see what degrees of freedom. Oh, now I can only go this direction. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to constrain it here to this side, and I'm going to tilt it down. Come on. I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to constrain that side, inside portion to this face. And again, I'm going to say equals 0.05 divided by 2. And I hit enter. Now, if I look at it from the top, if I could zoom in close enough, you would tell that I'm really not exactly on there. I've got a little bit of space between the two. What I want to do, though, is inspect. I want to analyze for any interference. Define set 1, that's my box. Define set 2, that's my cube. I want to see if there's any overlap. And so it tells me I have a little bit, very small. If I zoom in, you can see in these corners, I have a very small amount of interference. So my fillet is not the right size. It's a little bit too large. So I'm going to edit my box. I'm going to double click it. I'm going to browser edit it. I'm going to go to that last round of fillets. I'm going to double click them. And instead of using 0.1, I'm going to make it 0.05. Hit enter. And now I'm going to say home again. I'm going to save my box and then return to the assembly. And now I want to double check. I want to try again. Analyze the interference. Define set 1. That's the box base. Define set 2. That's the puzzle cube. And say OK. No interferences. So I know I'm good to go as far as the size goes for my puzzle cube. Now, that is a pretty tight fit. That's based on using the exact cubes that were done on the computer, not a real one. You may want to have your inside widths a little longer, a little larger than 2.3. That is how you analyze for interference and constrain and begin your actual puzzle cube.